Yeah, that's a really good question. Traditionally, the mammogram, which was just called a mammogram until a few years ago when we had 3D mammograms, and now we call the regular mammogram 2D. But the mammogram consisted of two views of each breast. So a mammogram is essentially an X-ray of your breast. And essentially, we take two X-rays of each breast is the standard mammogram. And the mammogram is still the standard of care as far as breast screening. So a mammogram is what you should be going for regardless of where you live to have yearly. However, some places also have 3D mammograms. In places that have the 3D, they offer that to go along with your regular standard 2D mammogram. And what the 3D mammogram is, it is additional X-ray images through your breast. But if you can imagine what a CAT scan is, or what a CT scan is, and it takes all these multiple images, that is what a 3D mammogram is, and it allows us to really be able to look at the breast from a different perspective. It allows us to be able to, instead of looking at a flat image on a piece of paper, we can actually look at it in 3 dimensions and in multiple sections, and really look at it at the almost at the millimeter level, like really small slices to really be able to depict breast cancer. So the 3D mammogram in conjunction with the 2D mammogram is definitely the best case scenario for you. So it gets a little bit complex because every service has costs associated with it, and the mammogram is what you should have. And I hesitate a little bit because I think we're moving, and it's not just because of the administration. It is because of insurers really are driving this. I think we're moving kind of to a screening buffet, as you will. So here's the thing. You can go and have this pizza, and the pizza can be just a cheese pizza. And if you got cheese pizza money, you're gonna have a cheese pizza. I mean, that's life, okay? But you can also have sausage added to it. A little bit more money. You can have the works, okay? A little bit more, okay? The cheese pizza is sufficient to make the hunger go away, okay? The cheese pizza is your basic mammogram. That is sufficient. If that is what you get, that is what I recommend you get. Get that, okay? If you can add the sausage and get the 2D, the 3D mammogram, and which is even a better study, then by all means get that. And in where I work at, it's complicated because we do automated breast ultrasound on nearly every dense breast. And dense breast is another issue that we haven't really approached. But once you become committed to having your yearly mammogram, so once you know you're going to get it done no matter what, okay, then you also have to be committed to knowing what the density of your breast is. Breast density is a measure of how much glandular tissue you have. To explain to you what glandular tissue is, most breasts are composed of fat. That is what makes a breast a breast. They are composed of fat tissue, okay? It is the glandular tissue that produces milk. But most people aren't producing milk most of the time, so most of the time breasts are predominantly fat. Well, some women have a lot more glandular tissue or potential milk-producing tissue than other women. It is having that extra glandular tissue that some women naturally have that makes the mammogram nearly impossible, I shouldn't say impossible, but makes it extraordinarily challenging to evaluate for breast cancer. So when we look at mammograms, we can detect cancer about 90% of the time, or 92% of the time in most non-dense breasts. When you make that a dense breast, and it's nobody's fault, it's just how God made this person, the sensitivity can drop as low as 50%. So then we go to having a 92%, we can say 92% you don't have breast cancer, now it's 50%. So we initiated doing ultrasounds in all dense breasts to just give us a little extra level of confidence. So if you add ultrasound to it, and it's a little bit hairy if you really go into the data, but if you add ultrasound to it, you can bring that 50% for dense breasts up to the same 90% for non-dense breasts. So in my practice, we have some women who get the full buffet. So they get the pizza with the works. They get the 2D, the 3D, and the automated breast ultrasound. So now they have had the complete spectrum. So now, because they have dense breasts, so now we can evaluate them with the same sensitivity or the same accuracy that we can do women who do not have dense breasts.
So insurance doesn't determine which,
So,
or does it?
Yeah, that's also challenging. So yes, the insurance does drive things. So far in my practice in Bloomington, Illinois, insurance is willing to pay for 3D and 2D. So most of our women get the 3D, okay? There is a state law that says insurers should also pay for breast ultrasound for screening, okay? So for women with dense breasts, so there's state law. First state law says that if a woman has dense breasts, they should be notified. Then the second one says that if they have dense breasts, they should be entitled to an ultrasound that the insurer has to pay for. Now, the state is in no position to enforce compliance with the insurance company paying for every breast ultrasound, but many women get them. So many women come in and get the full buffet, in my practice. But it's one of those things where you have to check with whatever your source of payment is to see what part of the buffet you're getting.